Could there very well be a massive upgrade that could very well happen to Algorand soon? Well, maybe. The reason why I say maybe is because there is an ongoing proposal to decide whether or not it will even happen. I'll discuss the specifics and how this could maybe impact Algorand moving forward, even though this is just my personal review, perspective, mindset. Nothing I say is financial advice, and I'm not telling anyone to do anything. So let's get to it, right? Algorand recently made a post announcing how they have released Algorand version 5.0.0, but this is a vote on a consensus upgrade, so it doesn't mean that it's for sure going to happen, at least at the time of this recording. The reason why I say that is because, again, it's a proposal, right? So it doesn't mean it's for sure happening. These node runners, they will have to vote on it. And case in point, let me just give this as a background information. So the first sort of window, the first voting window, I would say, it was a fail. So it actually didn't go through. Now, people may be shocked, like, why though? Let me explain, right? The threshold has to be 90%, but the first go around, the yes was only almost 72%, so far off from 90%. Now, people may be thinking, well, doesn't that mean it's game over then? Well, not necessarily, because there is another round, basically, in a sense where it's looking a little bit more positive, because at least at the time of this recording, the yes is around 72%, so it's actually on track to maybe allow for this upgrade to happen, even though, of course, I'll be sure to make updates as things go on. So we don't really know, but it's on track to actually passing. Actually, to be a little bit more specific, this upgrade, so to speak, this proposed upgrade, I should say, it's allegedly going to have some improvements to the AVM, or should I say the Algorand virtual machine. So it's kind of similar to EVM, which is Ethereum Virtual Machine on Ethereum, but it's like purpose-built for Algorand, if that kind of makes sense. Again, right, Algorand Virtual Machine. But besides that point, there's also going to be some aspects of quantum-resistant account options and all this. So again, arguably, maybe better security that could be had, and also better just fundamentals overall through this proposed upgrade. But yeah, I'll continue. Besides that point though, now people may be thinking, why would like an upgrade like this, which allegedly, right, could allow for better security, allegedly, which could very well allow for developers to find it easier to build on Algorand. Why would a massive upgrade like that even fail the first go around, like the first voting round? Well, there are some hypothetical reasons. Like, for instance, the biggest reason why allegedly this type of stuff typically happens is because many nodes simply haven't upgraded yet. So again, let's imagine this, right? They take time to upgrade and stuff like that. Case in point, sometimes these more smaller operators, these custodians and stuff like that, they want to wait for others to upgrade first to kind of test it out, or they just haven't gone around to it. So usually we see this when it comes to these proposed Algorand updates. Typically the first go round sometimes doesn't really work out too well, but then the, next rounds and stuff like that, or the next round, I should say, sometimes it works out a little bit better. However, now a lot of these operators, right, because they've become privy to this upgrade and now they kind of get more, I guess, information about it, it seems like now they're willing to say yes when it comes to this. So that's why in the beginning of this video, I kind of alluded to this, how it might happen, like in terms of a maybe. It doesn't mean for sure it will happen, but I think if it were to happen, it would be a positive thing for Algorand, right? Because again, Algorand themselves, mentioned this in a pretty positive way. They actually want this to happen, I'm assuming. So I don't see why it's a bad thing. But of course, the nature of these projects within this space, it's a little bit more decentralized. So sometimes there needs to be a vote in all this, which is totally understandable. But again, this upgrade, if it were to happen, it wouldn't cause an immediate impact to the price. I do not think it will do that, by the way, because this is more so of a niche sort of thing. Like, not that many people are talking about it. Like, for instance, a lot of my friends who hold Algorand, they could care less about stuff like this, So this is not necessarily going to affect anything too much when it comes to ALGO, which is Algorand's native token. But what this could do is impact the way builders build on Algorand moving forward, which is going to take time. Like, for instance, for developers and stuff like that to choose a certain place, want to build something, that could take quite a while. And also, whatever they build could take years sometimes to gain a lot of traction. So this is, if anything, this upgrade, or this proposed upgrade, I would say, it's going to take quite some time to really showcase its full effects. But of course, these building blocks, these foundations, right, they need to be set in place first to help allow for better adoption moving forward. So this is not a bad thing, at least in my opinion, right? I think something like this is more so for the long term, not for the short term. I get it. It may seem boring. They're like, oh, we want Algorand to do something that affects the price. But again, they can't really do that. What do you think the foundation can do when it comes to the Algorand Foundation? Do you think they can just say, oh yeah, we want ALGO to be at this, at that? They can't do that. Even Charles Hoskinson, who's the founder of Cardano and the co-founder of Ethereum, do you think he can wave some magic wand and demand this or demand that? No, I don't think so. It's kind of no different here. ALGO right now, yes, it's down, but it's not like it's anything unusual. I mean, if anything, a lot of projects are down as of right now. Even Bitcoin's down. You know what I mean? Like, take a look at Ethereum and all this. It's not only just ALGO. But what I want to see during a time when a project is down, so to speak, during a bear market or during a time when the market isn't doing so good, I want to see the project keep on building and trying. That's what I want to see. And I'm seeing that allegedly when it comes to this, even though I'm not telling anyone to do anything. Now, if we take a look at ALGO in terms of price, I mean, it hasn't really done much, so there isn't really much to talk about there. But, again, the market cap is around 700 million. Yeah, sure, I mean, it's around 7 times lower than January of last year. But I don't really mind the dip, and if it could go back there, I'm going to Sizzler, the restaurant. But beyond that, there isn't really much to talk about. However, when I'm seeing upgrades, when I'm seeing updates, that's what I like seeing. And again, this video is more so meant for the long-term fans of Algorand that care more so about the fundamentals, the use case, what's going on, the proposed upgrades or the upgrades that have already happened. Again, it's more so centered around that. But yeah, in the meantime, I'm just waiting. I mean, of course, if this upgrade were to actually come through, like if it were to actually succeed in terms of the votes, then yeah, I mean, I'm going to make an updated video about that, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to affect the price. I don't think so. I think the price is more so kind of dependent on the broader change in market sentiment. It's just not going to change drastically for ALGO just because some upgrade happened for Algorand. No, I don't think so. It's pretty tough to care about something when the overall market isn't doing the best. Let me just use this as an example. Do you remember Tom Hanks in the movie Castaway? Well, I do. But here's the thing. Remember when he was stuck on that place? Imagine if when he was stuck, there was like a piano randomly over there. Do you think he wants to play the piano, or do you think he's focused on leaving that place? Right? I'm pretty sure he's focused on leaving, not playing the piano. So when it comes to this, it's a little bit no different. Algorand is like a piano as of right now, and it's stuck in the middle of nowhere. No one's really going to care about it. What could make it be cared about? If, let's say, a city was built there and let's say, people started liking the piano and started appreciating it, then that's when it could hypothetically matter. No different in this case. Like, if Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all this, if they're not doing good, if the market overall isn't doing the best, Algorand just really won't do much, which is, just kind of how the space is. I can't change it. But in the meantime, I'm just voluntarily holding and waiting. That's it. I don't have to, though. But I'm just doing it because I'm a fan, and, that's it. But I'm not telling anyone to do anything. But I'm just saying, when it comes to Algorand, this upgrade, it would mean a lot for it fundamentally, but it wouldn't do much to the price, at least in my opinion. But you know what? The usual, or as the usual, I'm just waiting patiently. That's kind of it. But I'll be sure to make more updates moving forward. I want to say thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a very fantastic and wonderful day. It's been Lee the Captain. I'm out. Peace. Bye.